And
Now we
welcome,
are.
welcome to our global media talk show. Today is August 31st, 2025. Today we're going to be discussing about the protests in the Gambia and way forward. And we are blessed to have our guest here, an aspiring politician, Mr. Momodou Ba. One, Mr. Momodou Ba will lead us through the conversation about the protests in the Gambia and way forward. I have my co-host here, Sam Ceesay. Sam in Indiana. Welcome, Sam, to the show as usual. And I'm your host here, Momodou Sawaneh. Thank you, our viewers. Let's go right into it. Mr. Ba, one, can you give us a little background about you? And of course, you dive into this conversation of the protests that we are seeing in the Gambia and way forward. Welcome, Mr. Ba. Can you hear us? Sam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Mr. Ba, can you hear us? Maybe it's frozen, right?
Yeah, his screen may be frozen. I'm not seeing movement or anything
Okay.
or any sound
So,
from him at all.
yeah, I'm just going to lead through before Mr. Ba comes in. The
Okay,
protest that we
now
have
it's
seen, oh, he's back. Okay. Mr. Ba, you
yeah.
can just come. Yeah.
Oh, he dropped. Yeah, it's a connection there. No wonder why he was frozen.
Okay. Well, just basically the protest in the Gambia. This is the, I think, two protests in a row. The first Gala protest was about um, the accountability. I think the first one was about the Jammeh's assets,
Yeah,
and from there the other one is about I mean, like the lootings of national assets or something like that. I don't know the second one what it was. I think this is the third one about the data from
yep,
Pura's data issue. So it
yep,
looks like protests are coming along, and we are seeing a lot of arrests. We are seeing a lot of people taken to detention, and of course others are even taken to mile two. So this has been an issue in our country. So Mr. Ba is here.
he's back. Yep.
Yeah. So Mr. Ba,
Yes,
you can start with
I'm back.
introduction and then dive into the topic. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Momoduba, commonly known as Momoba by some, and then I'm the leader of the Afro movement, African Federalism and Republican Orientation, an aspirant to the presidency of the Republic of the Gambia 2026. So I'm happy to be here once again to discuss with you about current affairs of the Gambia.
Perfect. Mr. Ba, can you give us a little background of this protest that has been happening lately and what it means to our nation? We have seen a lot of arrests taking place, people taken to mile two, and so forth. What are these? Can you give us a breakdown of all these arrests? I mean, sorry, all these protests, and then what is entail about what are they asking for, and has it been met? Is it necessary to continue having this protest? Has it changed anything, and so forth?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we have to congratulate the boys first, the Patriots, the Gala members of the Gala and Gum Saboko. Patriotic youths who are standing up straight for the country. Their demands are simple: accountability, um, stop corruption, stop exploiting the people. I think recently this one concerned about public exploitation. It comes as a result of uh, PURA, the Public Utility and Regulation Authority, uh, who are conniving with the GSM operators to, you know, set in place a floor price on data and on data services in the Gambia. So this is why the Gumsabopa and Gala movement, without a permit, they went to the Pura building along the Kairaba Avenue, and then sent some petition, you know, to the authorities who are responsible in regulating GSM operators in the Gambia. So this is because uh, Comium was asked, to floor their price to that, $50 is, let's say, 1 gigabyte is shouldn't be sold for less than $50. That is the floor price, and usually a floor price is used by governments, to control prices. But usually, that is in the interest of the general public. That is in the interest of the general public. For example, like farmers, whereby we say, okay, there is a floor price of, let's say, $1,000 per kilo of onion, or potato, or a particular product. Okay, they say that is just to that it is meant to, if you put on a floor price, it is meant to protect the let's say the farmers, the most vulnerable people, so that they won't be affected. In this case, or you can say, okay, a minimum wage price, a minimum wage is also a floor price. You will say that, okay, um, in this country, nobody is gonna be paid below 1,000. You can understand that, but it is for the first time. It is for the first time in the country you hear a floor price protecting operators rather than the consumers. So this is what surprise that came as a surprise to many people, because we were not expecting government to side with GSM operators to exploit the people. But instead, in this context, what happened here is the government connived with Pura and operators, because the government is represented by uh, Pura in this regulation, in this market, to regulate the pricing. So I personally believe that, the government is conspiring uh, with Pura to regulate, or to increase the price of data, so that, yeah, the average people in the Gambia won't able to have access to internet power, because, in the Gambia, previously, uh, people used to go to the traditional media seeking for information. For example, like GRTS, or public radio stations, looking for information. But now people no longer go to those those media, but they go to the internet. They go to the internet to search. They go to the internet to search for such information, and then political organizations also, groups, entities, they organize themselves in the social media, on TikTok, social media, Facebook, and as you are doing. So you see, like, if you make internet access expensive, it means, you are. It means, you are stifling, public's access to information, and this is part of rigging the elections before before the D-Day. Because elections are before, during, and after. Right now, we are in the pre-electoral period. So now, what the government is doing, just trying to increase data so that ordinary people won't follow their favorite journalists, won't follow their favorite programs on social media, won't know exactly what is happening. As George Orwell said, if you want to uh, uh, control the people, you have to control the information. So this is exactly what the government is doing there. Probably also an increase in income for the GSM operators could be an increase in income for the government through taxes, because government, is taxing is hugely taxing GSM operators. They are taxing them about 35% of the corporate income tax, and 18%, of the sales tax, that is the one equivalent to VAT, that is the VAT. So it is the most expensive tax on companies in the Gambia. So they are participating a lot in terms of GSM operators are participating a lot in terms of the economy. So now, we have to know this first, before we move forward to this slide. So this is the general issue of what's happening in the Gambia right now, and the youths are aware, the people are aware, the public are aware that, you know uh, asking GSM operators to have a floor price of 50, it means they want to control information. They don't want the general people to have access to information. And this is why also Gala, without any permit, decided to go peacefully to Pura, where they, on the 22nd of August, on the 22nd of August, they went to Pura, submitted some petition, and among the petition was for Pura to, you know, withdraw from those uh, acts, you know, to withdraw from those regulations from the floor price. Among the petition also was also, during their recent demands were about the corruption scandals, the 30 million uh, corruption scandal on the petroleum uh, project, you know, among other demands. Their demands, among their demands also, part of the GFA, a lot of GFA scandals going on in GFA, to be looked into. So these are some of the demands that have been previously made by Gala, but the recent one was against the exploitation, calculated exploitation of of the people, of the public, by Pura, by GSM operators and their accomplices, uh, uh, Pura, and the bigger one being behind, okay, pulling this string, is the government. So this is why they stood up straight. So when they went on 22nd July without permit, the constitution, allows everybody, every citizen, to demonstrate without a freedom of assembly, and freedom of procession is guaranteed by section 25 1D of the constitution. So every citizen has access, has the right of to assembly and to freedom of procession. So they did this. This is what they did exactly, without throwing stones, without anything. Peacefully, they went there, gathered without a loudspeaker, without a mic, you know, without an amplifier. So they went there peacefully. So the police met them there, brutalized them, and then arrested them in the eyes of everybody on the same day. On the same day, when in Denver, in the United States of America, when Sir Michael Collier, was convicted for 67.5 years in prison because of torture. There were alleged tortures also going on on the same day in the country, uh, which is unacceptable. So, in a nutshell, you can say it was a peaceful. The youths of Gala and Bogom Soboba, as well as concerned Gambians, gathered uh, on Kairaba Avenue at Pura's headquarters, or Pura's house, to submit a petition and to denounce the exploitation uh, against the Gambian people. And then they were they were they were they were arrested and taken to when they are arrested and taken to different police stations. Whereas later on they were reminded, and then they were brought. Subsequently, they were brought to the Carnifing Magistrate Court for hearing. They denied them bail. The youths put more pressure on them. I personally was there too. You were asking whether what was my stand. I was there. You know, um, uh, seeing and encouraging the young people, those young patriots. Then, they reminded them back, and then they called them again. They anticipated. Initially it was scheduled. Their reappearance was scheduled on fourth September, but due to pressure, that was put on them, they had to anticipate their hearing for bail. So as we are speaking, they are, the youths have already been bailed. And added to them also, there were other people, initially they arrested about 19. And then later on, or the same day, when they were hearing them on the Carnifing Magistrate Court, then, others also came, and then, they were arrested again, 22 people. But as we speak right now, they have all been released. They have all been released. And then the government also had organized a press conference on Friday with the Gala members, discussing with them, trying to privilege dialogue, which is also laudable because it's very important. So it must be said that it must be acknowledged that it is Gala are imposing respect. Gala are imposing to be respected. The youths are imposing to be respected. The youth have imposed them to sit with them on the table. So initially they were trying to use force, but now they are coming to their senses, knowing that these people won't give up, and these people, are ready to go the whole hog. So this is why they decided to sit with them on the table. You know, I think I can stop there for now until you come up with other questions.
Yeah, thank you. I think you summarized everything about this whole this whole gala, especially this last one, which entails the data usage at the expense of the citizens to kind of stop them from doing certain things. It's because political season is fastly approaching, and the fact that collaborations were made between the government, the Pura, and other GSM companies. So that kind of really is a concern, because youths are seeing this and they knowing that this increase would affect them to conduct their civic duties. So we commended the whole entire operation on the ground for doing this. I'm pretty sure Gala and then maybe Amsabopa or some other groups were also part of
Comes
this.
up.
Yeah, Gomsabopa. Yeah. So it's great that they came out.
Believe in yourself.
What did you say?
Yeah, Gumsa
You said
Bopa. It
something?
means trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trust
yeah. It's
yourself
a word of
or believe in
Gomsabopa.
yourself.
Yeah.
Gumsa Bopa.
Or believe in
Okay.
yourself.
Yeah.
Gomsabopa. Believe in yourself is the better term. Yeah. So the in whole, if you look at it from all angles, this is like taking advantage of the populace by these GMS company, GSM companies, and of course with the poorer.
SM.
Yeah. So the what is most saddening about this whole thing is the arrest. I know the constitution don't allow certain protests to be taking place without a permit, but like you said, this one is peaceful. There is no loudspeaker. There was just a simple gathering. So my question is, how? What do you think should be done to make sure that the lawmakers understand where are the limits? Because it looks like our youths are being arrested unnecessarily and detained for things that are not important, while people committing the biggest crimes are out there, bringing drugs in the country are out there. What do you think we should be done to revisit this whole thing? Or is it that the law enforcement officials are not understanding what it is to protest peacefully with or without permit? I just wanted to elaborate on that.
Okay. It is the constitution that allows citizens to. It is the constitution that allows citizens to. Uh, that guarantees freedom. There are freedom of speech, freedom of assembly and procession on section 25 1D of the 1997 Constitution. But also, there is something that preceded that Constitution, that is the Public Order Act. The Public Order Act, uh, which was put in place by the colonialists in 1963, and later on in 2009, during the Jammeh regime, it was also um, amended. So it means that is always there. Like the constitution gives you the right, but the public order, protects the government. They ask you to go and fight and find a permit in order to protest. Okay, so this was something that was very urgent. The youths previously they had asked for permit, and at one point they were denied, and the following one they were given. So it's in between denial and acceptance of permit. So but this one was so urgent, uh, to an extent that they didn't need to apply, but they just wanted to go and then submit the petition. So unfortunately, they came and arrested them. So we have to look at those laws. But like if you go to the United States of America, the First Amendment, it is what guaranteed their right to demonstration and free peaceful demonstration, freedom of assembly. If you go to UK, the same thing. France, the same thing. What they need, notification. I stand to be corrected. Okay, but they need just notificate to notify the authorities that they have they have
I think he's break up, Sam. All right. So, Sam, you can come in. When he comes, he can just finish up.
Yep, it's frozen. I think it's the internet again in the Gambia, of course, as we know. So up he's back.
Okay. All
It's
right. You can
moving.
finish. You can conclude that 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 answer, Mr. Ba. Can you hear us, Mr. Ba? Sam, have
hello,
you?
can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I said you can conclude that. Yeah, you can conclude the answer to that question. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, go ahead and
Can you
finish.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now. Mr. Bao, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm saying that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. So it's like does it? So demonstrations are guaranteed by constitutions, but in the Gambia, the '97 constitution guaranteed us freedom of assembly and procession, peaceful demonstration. But again, the Public Order Act is a barrier, to that freedom. So which means, the we were accusing the previous government of dictatorship, of undemocratic actions. But unfortunately, when the new government came in, post Barrow, post Jammeh, 2016, 17, the first thing they could have done was to amend, repeal the Public Order Act, and then modify it, to be in line with great democracies in the world. This was what we fought for. But again, the struggle continues. Maybe the next government that is coming, should definitely come with that agenda, and I'm definitely ready to improve that as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, Sam,
Yep.
what do you, what do you have to
Yep.
add?
Well, Mr. Bab, first of all, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join this stage today as well. And we really, I know you've been here before. We really appreciate you coming here. This is a very important topic, and I think we need to look at certain things and certain aspects of the whole conversation here. I am totally in line with you. Protesting is constitutional right, is a fundamental right. But arresting the protesters and taking them to prison is completely wrong. So I think we all know this. But one of the first things that I want to talk about is the root cause, because there's a lot of things, and when things happen, we've got to ask ourselves, what is the root cause? Especially the government. The government need to ask themselves, what is the root cause of all these protests? There's a lot of protests in the Gambia. I mean, too many of them coming up. Protest against something. They're protesting against something. People are protesting against different things. People are protesting all the time. The government, if I were the president, I would ask myself, why is all these, or why do we have all these protests coming up? People are protesting against something. So it's good to take a good look at and analyze what people are protesting. Do they have the right? Are they correct in protesting that? And is there something wrong in the system that causes people to go protest? I think this is something the government need to look at first and answer that question. If the answer is yes, we are definitely on the wrong side. That's why people are coming out. Well, then fix it. Fix that thing. So if you don't want people to go protest, do the right thing. That's the key word. Just do the right thing for everything that you do. I know in the Gambia, corruption has been the biggest deal there. Is the number one thing that holds the country behind, right? And then on top of that, you have all this a variety of issues that people look at that are against the will of the people or against the Gambian people, especially the taxpayers. So the government need to look at that, take a backstage and look at that, backseat and look at that, and correct themselves. People are protesting because of there is corruption. Well, why don't you fight corruption instead of fighting the people? Because the people that are protesting, they're saying, hey, what is happening is wrong. And we should all acknowledge that that is wrong. So let's fix that. Because if you don't want people to go out and protest against something, do the right thing. Once you do the right thing, people will be chanting and celebrating and say, thank you, thank God that this happened finally. That's what people need to be doing. Now, to me, it's a shame for our country from an international standpoint. When you look at the whole world, looking at Gambia, one of the smallest country in the world, there's so many protests against something. It's a strong message for the government to look at themselves, especially for the president, to say, you know what, my administration may be doing a lot of things wrong. I better take a good analysis of this and straighten things and correct things so that this does not come out. Because, again, people are coming out for a reason. When they fight corruption, they're fighting corruption because you know what is happening. Now, when this movement came out to protest against what Pura did, it's their fundamental right. They have the right to come out and protest because it does not make sense. It's very unreasonable for data prices just to be lifted like that when people's paychecks have not been, or salaries or pays have not been lifted like that. When the cost of living is high, when all the other things associated with cost of living are high. Now, one more thing is to add something to that. You do not want to add fuel to fire. Instead, you want to take something off the people by doing something better that benefits the whole population or that benefits the majority of the people. It's better than allowing Pura to go and adjust this and put in this data increase on poor people. I mean, these people are poor. They don't have anything. They are struggling to survive. Some people in the Gambia are struggling to live. I mean, some people don't even have money to buy breakfast. They can't even have breakfast. They will have one meal a day. That one meal a day, and they still want to be in contact with their friends and family members and loved ones through communication by using their phones. And now that phone data is being increased. That brings some limitation to those people to be able to communicate. So their life is not getting better. Instead, the life is going for the worse. Things are getting worse for them because they can't afford to even live very well. So it is sad. It is very sad. And I think my advice is for the government to really take a good look at this and ask themselves, why are people going out to protest? If I were a president and people go out to protest, I want to know what they're saying, because that may not be what my advisors are telling me. That may not be what the minister responsible for that department is telling me. That may not be something that I'm hearing within the State House. So I want to hear from the people. If I were the president, that's what I want to do. I want to hear, what are they saying? What is happening? And then make a good analysis of that before making the judgment or decision. And that will help the president to really understand. And number one, because this is his name and his legacy on the line. Because anything good that happened while on a sitting president is good. It goes towards his legacy. Anything that's bad also that happens while he's in office, it records in our history books as this is what happened. I mean, if you look at all these protests there, they have a very tangible reason to go out and protest. So that is what we need to look at. That root cause is what we need to look at and fix that root cause so people won't be out by doing the right thing. That's the key word. I want to say, just do the right thing. Do the right thing. If you do the right thing, you will never deviate from the truth. And that's it. That's what I want to add to that. I can't hear you. I think, are you muted?
Yes. Mr.
Oh, okay.
Bai,
Yeah. It looks like he's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming.
Went back out again.
Keep dropping, yeah.
Yeah, internet in the Gambia.
Yeah.
Look at the service. Internet quality is not even good. Why increase the price on people? It's not even good. It's not stable. All this the GSM companies in the country. I mean, if you look at they one sometimes people in the Gambia. I mean, this is sad. People in the Gambia are carrying two cell phones or multiple cell phones because one carrier doesn't serve the other side. The other carrier also doesn't serve very well. Sometimes you have one carrier that works better in certain areas than the other. So if your quality of what you're giving to the people as a data as a GSM company is bad enough in the first place, why increase the price? And Pura should not have allowed this. Pura should be on the consumer side, not on the side of the GSM companies. So this is why I said, the government need to look at the whole picture and analyze and come down to the bottom line. What is the bottom line is look at the root cause of all these protests and do something about it by doing the right thing. When you do the right thing, nothing happens. Nothing happens other than people coming in to chant if it's something that's above and beyond. But other than that, just by doing the right thing is the expectation. That is what people expect, what the Gambian people expect. They want the the right thing. They want fair treatment. Pura should not be allowed. Pura should not be sided with GSM companies to increase data price on these consumers, knowing that Pura should already, or Pura, in fact, Pura employees themselves know that if they have an AfriCell cell phone, they cannot go everywhere in the country and communicate with people. They know that. They also have to carry a Q cell, right? Because AfriCell doesn't work here very well. Q cell does, and vice versa. In some areas, dead zones. I mean, dead zones are all over the world. I understand that. But in a small country like Gambia, these GSM companies are not even providing a good quality service to the people. Why allow them to increase? If anything, they should be decreasing their prices because they're not providing the service that people need. Consumers have a demand. They have demand. People demand, and they have expectations. And those expectations are not being met by these companies. So why increase that data? This is where Pura needed to stand and fight against that from these GSM companies so that they can protect the consumers. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of wrong things, and too many wrongs do not make a right. That's why the boys ended up in Maltu as well. So all of those are things, that factors that contribute to all of this. And that's what I advise the government to look at and look at themselves in the mirror and say to themselves, well, the reason for all these protests is because we're not doing something right. Why don't we do the right thing? Why don't we do the right thing so we can work with the consumer? That benefits the consumers because people elected the president to make their lives better, right? And the president appointed those people to come work for him so they can help him make people's lives better. So if the people's lives are not any better, well, people are going to regret why they even elect this president, because he's not making their lives better. He's making their lives miserable and even worse. So, I mean, that's the way to look at it. That's the way I look at it. And that's my analysis of the whole thing. So at the end of the day, the ball is in the government's court, and the president is the leader of the government. The president can take action and stop all of these from happening by stopping the wrong things from happening in his government. And this is towards his legacy. Whatever happens it all counts towards his legacy. Yep, that's what I wanted to add.
True. Okay, we have Mr. Bat on. Mr. Bat is keep going in and out. So let's just hear what Mr. Bat has to say regarding the whole government involvement and what is it that the National Assembly could do in order to make it easier for everyone to have a peaceful protest by changing some of these laws that are holding up our people. Because this is the thing, like people always have the right, so always have the fundamental human rights to express themselves. Cost of living is high. Things are happening that are not supposed to happen. They should have small protests, as long as they're not blocking the whole entire traffic or doing something that will obstruct people's movement. There shouldn't be people arrested just because they are showing signs and saying we're demanding this, we need this, we are suffering, we are doing this. It happens everywhere in the world. So why Gambia is not, really, not following that guidance? This law need to be repealed and then thrown out as soon as possible. I mean, like either through any means necessary, because it's very sad to see our young people getting caught on their face, getting thrown on the back of the truck, like like if you are in the primitive age. This is very insane. What kind of system are we trying to show our future lead? I mean, our future, our people who are gonna be the future of this country. These youths are our future. They are the ones that are laying the foundations for the upcoming generations. How could you just be cutting somebody's, I mean, like all these draconian laws, cutting somebody's dread because they are in entering the prison system and all that things, like you know just to degrade human beings from speaking out. And then the only way you can get freedom is to speak up to the power. If you speaking of the power is a crime, then how can we be free? We rather we go for commit that crime than to go and do robbery, or to go and shoot somebody and get something out of it. So if our crime will be speaking up, hey, that's a good crime to have, because somebody has to speak up against the power, because the power sometimes expressed its boundaries beyond, and they need to be reprimanded. They need to be stopped. The only way we can do it is through our mouth, through words, and through writings. So if we are being cornered not to do that, that's not good for our democracy. So what I'm appealing is National Assembly and all lawmakers looking into these laws and let people come out. Yeah, what is the point of, if you're leading a country and you're comfortable that you're doing a good job, why would you be apprehending critics? Criticism is supposed to make us better, not to make us worse. So if somebody is coming and saying that we don't have good roads, or we are shortage in this, or we don't have right internet access, why should that be an issue? So I will just let our guests come in here and they give us and a little bit in-depth focus on this for the next 15 minutes, so we can wrap up the show. But definitely the government and the lawmakers should really do better and allow our youths to express themselves, especially on things that are of concern, priority, top priority things that are of concern. Because little things we can understand, but things that are major concerns, people have to come out. And I seen even some people have been tired guys like Madi Jobate on a ventilator, trying to get some. I mean, what kind of inhumane things are that? Just somebody walking in the street saying that we needed this. Sometimes we don't even act like we are the same people. We act like we are, it's like in a country that is full of chaos. I mean, but again, our guest, Mr. Ba, you can come in and then finalize your thoughts on this whole thing. What are the solution? What are the what it is that need to be done for us to have peaceful protests, and moving forward, how Gambia need to deal with protest. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for those wonderful analysis, both Sam, Ceesay, and yourself. You said it all. So practically, we are on the same wavelength. Because in order to avoid such things to happen in the country, you must solve certain things that the youths are demanding. It's like there is a problem of electricity in the country. There is problem of water, poor sanitation. High uh, rocketing of prices. All these are problems, but now they are not on the table for as far as the demonstrations are concerned. What are triggering these demonstrations are issues concerning corruption, accountability, and exploitation. And these are issues that come from the government. So these are issues that the government definitely could have solutions to it. So once you satisfy these demands, then things will be all right. But as long as these things are there persistently, it will be very difficult for the government not to have similar things to happen in the country. You know, because for instance, recently the minister of the attorney general and the minister of justice, Mr. Jallo, came up, to discuss about a report, that was, delivered by the National Assembly, on the corruption scandal concerning the Russian oil scandal. But in that recommendation, it is recommended for those ministers to be censored. Okay, it is recommended for those ministers to be censored. But what was his response is that censoring, and firing are not the same. So it is up to the those are just still allegations. Trying to defend those people. Whereas the committee, a report that came from the National Assembly. So which means again, these reports, you know, they have no value. In the end, they have no value. They are just playing the long game. They are just trying to have more time, enough time, so that people could forget about this. But actually, they have no solution to this. They are not ready to change. They are not ready to fire those people who are involved in corruption. They are not ready to fire those people who have committed mistakes. You know, so as long as the president is having this ideology and their fellow ministers are backing each other on issues of corruption, then these problems will still persist. Within the space of 4 months, the Gala youths were able to, force the, the government to set up two committees. One was on the, assets of the asset recovery of Drammeh, the looted assets. That's where the name even name from Gala, Governments Against Looted Asset. Then they set a committee. So still now we haven't heard from that committee. And even if they bring a report, that report would not be considered. That is the problem. And recently, about the oil scandal, there is a report, that said that those ministers involved, the tourism minister and the interior minister, Mr. Job and Mr. Jallo, Mr. Sanyan, respectively, should be censored. In another way around, there's a procedure that has to be taken for them to be fired. But the president shouldn't even wait for that. Why? Are those the only patriots in the Gambia? Are those the only sons of this country? We have people who are capable. We have people who are clean. We have people who are honest. We have people who want to fight for their country. So those reports have no use. Have no use. So going forward, the president should think on how to apply those recommendations. When you are asked to censor those ministers, then fire them. At least the public, that will soothe the public. At least the youth will say, okay, there has been a step, against what we are fighting for. But this you will never see this under Barrow's government. Another thing that you will not never see under the Barrow government, you know, is trying to amend the Public Order Act to protect to protect the protesters. This one also you'll never see. So it means demonstrations are an accident lying to happen, accident waiting to happen in the country. So anytime the youth will come up, they won't give them they won't give them they won't give them permit. But the youth also, they have something to stand. These are young people, university students, who are aware, who know what is happening in the world. So the whole world, they are demanding transparency. What is happening in Senegal right now, you know the Senegalese people, what they are demanding is transparency from their current government. This is accountability. Transparency is what the Malians are asking for. Transparency is what everywhere in Africa, youths are demanding, people are demanding. Transparency and stop to corruption. These are the two things that are hindering us from development. So I believe that we have to, going forward, we need to have a government that will stand by the people, stand for the people, and then stop, fight against corruption, promote accountability, promote good governance. So these are the things that are on the table, because the youth, they have been pushed to the wall, because we are asking them to stay here, don't go to the back way, and then they are staying here. They don't have food to eat. They don't have good electricity at home. They don't have good internet connection. In fact, some of them, trying to be uh, content creators on the net. Some of them they are comedians. Some of them, they are doing other activities. Musicians. Some of them they are singers. Some of them they are dancers, etc. In order to have more views on the social media. That would help them, earn little bit money. But now they don't even have the audience to give them those views. They don't have the audience to give them those views. So what are we asking what are we putting on the table for the youth to stay here? We are asked just recently over, nearly 100 people, close to 100 people died, on the sea. A boat that took off from the Gambia, going towards in the seas of Mauritania, going towards, the back way. So we are asking them to stay here, and we are closing all the doors for them. They don't have employment, no training, you know, no work, no hope, no anything. So this is definitely, it is a trying moment for young people. It is a trying moment for young people. So the democracy, how it is going on in the world, the youth, our Gambian youth, for now they are very peaceful, but there are signs. What I saw the last time, it is something the government should take note of. That is the first time in the Gambia, in the history of the Gambia, the youths blocking the national highway. That is the Westfield Banyul Highway, blocking it. I mean, putting some blocks, putting some stops on the highway, blocking the highway, so that vehicles won't pass. It is the first time in the history of the Gambia. Previously, yeah, used to be demonstration. April 11 and 12, we saw what happened. Excessive force was used on them. And then 3 years Jotna in 2019, the 3 years Jotna, we saw it. It was a peaceful demonstration. Back in May, we saw the demonstration. It's peaceful. It was peaceful. Later on in April, that demonstration also was peaceful. But recently, also it was very peaceful. But at the end, when there was the when the police fired tear gas, it angered the youth, and then they started blocking the highway for the first time. So imagine where they will go next. This is how it started in Senegal. They were demonstrating peacefully. When they started firing tear gas, on them, then they started using other strategies, which I don't pray for the Gambia. Definitely, we really don't want violence in this country. We are advocating for peaceful violence, we are advocating for peaceful demonstration. But we are not advocating for violent demonstration. So, but like if you push the youths, if you push them, you know, it could result to such things which we have to avoid because they've shown you the the advertisement. What happened there was just you know the advertisement. It means they're blocking the road. They are developing something in their minds, which the government should be wise to detect, which the government should be wise to understand. So what the only thing that they could do right now here is to come to the needs of the people. That is, fire those people who are involved in the wrongdoings, and then bring them to justice. Let justice. Don't defend anybody. Don't protect anybody. You are the president. So why is the president protecting people? Why? Why is the
Exactly.
president protecting people? You employ him. He did not employ you. You know, you employ him. You are his boss. You are the number one person in the Gambia. So why should you allow for them to put you in such an embarrassing situation?
Yeah. Very
Fire them.
embarrassing. Mhm.
Put them to the hand them over to justice. Let justice do their job. This is what the youths are demanding. So as long as these things are not, they are not, responding to these demands, then the problem will stay. It will gyrate. You know, it will repeat itself every time.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, our guest, Momodou Ba. I think you have really elaborated a lot on all this aspect, the political will of the government to end this. Without it, is that this law is going to be dragging. Somebody has to come and stop this law. They could do it, but they don't want to do it. They want to use it against our youth. And then the way the manner is going, like you said, now they started blocking highways. Next thing you know, it's gonna be it could be more violence, like we saw in Senegal. And again, when you push people, they are back against the wall. There's nothing, nowhere to go. They will fight back, even if you are the most powerful person or you have all the ammunition in this world, because people don't like to be pushed to that extent. So the government, I hope you are listening, and then the National Assembly folks and all political stakeholders, because this is our country is at stake. People are not experience the kind of life expected of them or they deserve. So they have to act. They have to speak up. They have to fight. So this is something that the best answer to this is to sit down, find a way how to adjust and give people what they want. And one of the things they want is freedom of speech. Let them express themselves. Let them say something, as long as they are doing it in the manner that is decent to the according to the law. People should be giving opportunity. And also, this public looting, and then this assets, missing of the Drammeh assets and all other things that are causing our national, causing us national debt, and of course, causing us to lose a lot of money. We couldn't be able to do things that we should be doing is an issue. Corruption is an issue in the country, and it need to be fought tooth and nail. So I hope the government is there listening. I hope the stakeholders are listening, and we need to salvage our country. So that's what the youths are doing, and then we have to make sure that they are protected, because one life lost is everyone's lost. So we need to focus that. But I will stop here and let my co-host Sam Ceesay come in, and of course, Mr. Mayor, we can wrap it up with our guest. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, this is definitely we getting to that point to wrap it up, but this is a very important topic, and I think between the three of elaborated a lot on a lot of things that's happening there, and that has happened. And I'll just go back to what I said: the root cause. The root cause is what the president needs to look at, and we all know the root cause. Is that the number one reason is all about corruption. Corruption entails a lot of things. It has a lot of things embedded into corruption, and if I recall correctly, when I talked about the key ingredients in stopping corruption, transparency is there, accountability there, all of those things are embedded in that. So at the end of the day, we're not going in the right direction. We need to make a U-turn, and the president need to make a U-turn and take the country in the right direction by doing the right thing. The right thing start with himself and go down to every single minister to make sure that he holds them accountable to do the right thing for the country, because people elected him and he appointed them to work for him, and he works for the people. It's that simple, man. We shouldn't allow certain things to happen to go out of control for people to come out to protest against it. So at the end of the day, that's what it is. And last but not the least, what I wanted to add to this is something I've spoken several times about, is the mild to prison. And number one, these people were taken to prison. They should not have been taken to prison in the first place. Number two, the prison, I did talk about the prison before so many times in the past years. That prison need to be condemned. It really need to be condemned. Human beings should not be living in there. I said this not once, not twice, not three times, numerous times. So that is something we need to look at. But at the end of the day, it's sad for our country. It really is sad for our country, because we have leaders that see the right thing, but they chose to do the wrong thing. And I, even last week in my audios that I released in my WhatsApp group, I said, instead of going after the people that are exercising their fundamental and constitutional rights, go after people that are deliberately violating our policies or constitution. And I gave an example of those people that are car drifters that are on the road. They block the roads, drifting cars and turning around, doing all kinds of styles there. And some people will enjoy watching that, but it's a dangerous move. And it is also uncalled for. It's something that blocks the traffic. No one has that right to block the traffic. So they are violating our constitution. Those were the people that should have been arrested and taken to mile two to be prosecuted. That's it. That's what needed to happen, but not these people that went to poor. So I'll stop here. Thank you. Back to you. We'll let our guests wrap it up, and then we can end this at that point. Like Mr. Sawaneh said.
Thank you. Thank you. Momodou, you can go ahead to close us up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Well said. Just like that. All that is lack of discipline, and this also it should be in line with the leadership. Everything should be things. Leadership is top down. Approach. In a country. If you want to lead a country as far as vision, your vision is concerned. So it has to entail all that, how to maintain discipline in the society. This is why we are even proposing compulsory military service, to all Gambians from 18 and above. It is just for you to have some military training, patriotic training, for you to know about the country, to know, what we want, as a country, the basic fundamental issues, of your right, how to protect the country, how to help the country, how to be disciplined, all that you can have it, in that service, and it is definitely possible. If other countries could do it. Uh, so as far as the protests are concerned, I'm just saying this. The government should know that it is very right controlling is very expensive. Just one tear gas could cost us about $40. And they buy this in units, about 10,000 units. So uh, $40 by 10,000, that is about $400,000. $400,000 is a huge amount of money, you know, that we could have spent in other areas, in the health sector, in the education sector, and in many areas that lack, that needs development. In many areas that need development, we could use them there. Okay, so but the people also will always stand, you know, as John Quincy Adams once said, the second president of United States of America, who is one of the founding fathers of America, once said, when the people surrender a share of their legislature and to defend themselves, their liberties are gone. I think this is what the Gambian youths are beginning to understand. They know that this, is our constitutional right, because even there is public order act, but the constitution is more than, is more powerful than the public order act.
Any law on
So
the land, yeah.
yes, so it's more powerful. So and then it is a constitutional right. So no matter whatever act, public act, no matter whatever charge, they will charge them, but the youth will always stand. So it is better for them, to solve, to come to their demands, and that is, stop corruption, accountability, and then good governance. This is the only three things that we are expecting them to do before we go to the elections. As far as the social justice is concerned, as far as transparency is concerned. So this, for now, these are the requests. And remember, every now and then there are thousands of scandals, that are yet to be reviewed, and we are moving towards that. So anytime another big scandal comes on the table, the youths will demonstrate again. So already there are lot of demands on the table, and there are other demands also that are yet to be revealed, because we have very good investigative journalists like Dabo Mustafa. Yeah, Dabo, with the Republic. Every now and then they are coming up with uh, uh, reports. You know, they are revealing scandals, and is what make this is what makes the public angry. So they have to make sure that they solve this. The electoral laws are here. They are yet to be reformed. The electoral list. We cannot go to the next election with this current electoral list. You know, Previously this was what Jammeh used to use. This was what other African presidents used to use to rig the election. The 2021 elections, we went with the 2021 we went to the 2021 polls with the 2016 electoral list. It was Yahya Jammeh's electoral list. So in 2021, the current government was surrounded by people who used to be with Drammeh, you know, so they know every aspect about, elections. So now it is wiser for us to tear the 2016 electoral list, to tear down the 2021 electoral list, and come up with a new electoral list for the for 2026 if we want a free and fair election. This is what I am demanding. You know, we alone we cannot do it. We have our elders. You know, let them be. Let them initiate things, and we are behind them because 2026. If we go there with this electoral list, not we should know that it is something that is rigged ahead. So we don't have to accept that. Yeah.
Okay. We have to have a
So you
brand
have
new.
yes, yeah. You have many of these issues that are lying on the way. These are a lot of demands. Because like the country is growing. So the democracy also has to grow. We said we didn't want dictatorship, so we fought against dictatorship, and now we are in a democratic country. We are in a democratic era. It has to be in line with great democracies in the world. So there we have to really cancel the 2021 electoral list and find new everybody registers are new.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you so much. Thank you, Momodou Ba, aspiring candidate. Um, we really has exploded this. That idea of having a new electoral list need to be pushed, and you as part of the opposition camp, you guys need to be very watchful about who is voting. I was thinking that you know the opposition will come together, perhaps form a coalition that will dismantle this the way the country is going. Create a disruption. So the third term of President Barrow, and we try to just do things afresh. I was thinking that doing so, you guys would come and look at all the electoral list and validation of those who are calling who are to vote. I know it's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of names, a lot of to verify, but these people need to know how are they voting. I mean, how do they get their citizenship rights or their access to vote, whether they are really eligible to vote, because this is a very it's going to be a very tedious task. And then of course we don't want any pseudonyms, or like or no names that don't exist to have voters cards. So these are all roles of opposition party to come with. And of course prior to the election, and then of course during the election day, the opposition should have their own center of IEC center, which each and every polling station have a router,
Coalition, yeah, coalition center.
yeah, coalition, yeah, should have a router, their phones and devices. Whenever a vote is tallied, they should be uploading it for public view. And this tally of votes will be compared to the IEC. If there is anything different, we know that some there are twists somewhere, so that could be brought to public attention. So these are the ways. The days of the election is another task to accomplish, and then prior to election is another task to accomplish. So the coalition or whatever team is contesting against the government need to have this in place. Yeah. So I know it requires money. It requires a lot of manpower and resources, but this is what will make an election transparent. And this is what Liberians did, the Liberian oppositional party, to win that election against George Weah. So I'm appealing the coalition and the oppositions who are coming together to really, really, really look into this angle instead of just saying that they stole the election. Do the things before before the election day, and get yourself ready with all these things, informations, and then of course, any fraudulent name or people who don't are not eligible to vote or whatever could be brought to the IEC attention so that those could be contested in the courts. So these are the things that, but you don't wait and sit and say we are, we big party, or we can win, or Baro is not effective, it doesn't have people, and you go with that assumption to the election. You're gonna lose because you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. So we need to be very vigilant this time around to make sure that our constitution, our elections are very, very free and fair. And we use a system called the marble, which is the most fraud anti-fraud process. So why would we still complain the elections are not fair or are stolen? Because we haven't done the work on the other side. All right. So this is what I want to add to that. But again, thank you so much, Momodou. Ba. Thank you, Sam Ceesay. We definitely hope to see you again, Mr. Ba. And of course, our viewers, thank you. We have seen a lot of people commenting. Some are even going against us, saying that we don't know the Constitution, or we probably don't know what we're talking about. But again, this is the public forum. You can express what you want to express. I know not everybody's going to like our analysis. We are open to criticism. I hope all the politicians out there, including the president, is open to criticism as we are. So we are not an expert in anything. We are just giving our analysis based on our common sense. And I hope there are takeaways there. But definitely, a lot of people have been watching and commenting both on YouTube page and then of course on Facebook. Because again, Mr. Bar really did a wonderful job giving us all these details, and Sam Ceesay and myself have also spoken. Yeah, so there are a lot of takeaways. But thank you, Sam Ceesay. Have a great end of the weekend, and then of course, Mr. Bar, thank you. Our viewers, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Bar. It's good seeing you again and hope to see you again. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you
Shadi.
all.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.